Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm James and today we're back for my team on F1 2021. I know it's been a while, I'm terrible with this series of uploading, but we'll get on with it anyway because it's the Monaco Grand Prix, a rather special one in the season, quite early in the season in 2021, third race, and our car is not developed really at all, so this should be interesting to have a very understeery, pretty rubbish car at the minute. For Monaco, but we'll see what we can do, see if we can get any places, try and get this thing further up than paper suggests. So I'm going to do some just everyday activities, try and boost any resource points and stuff as well, because we have absolutely none of those. So yeah, we're going to go into Monaco, and yeah, you can see on paper there we're actually, sort of ahead of the back markers and sort of midfield, but I mean from the last couple of races that really has not been true at all. But we upgraded the chassis department a bit, try and get some chassis upgrades on. Gonna skip through the interview with Will Buxton, just asking the usual questions. But yeah, going to go into Monaco. Hopefully the car will be slightly better. But yeah, we're going to try and drag this thing through the weekend, try and gain some positions, but let's go into practice. Okay, so practice time now, and this went pretty good. There was a little bit of wall tapping, I won't lie, but nothing major. We managed to crack out the practice programs just fine and get some discounts on these much needed upgrades we desperately need to put on this car, because yeah, just from practice I could tell we are not on the pace at all. The practice programs, I was passing them, but not by a lot. But yeah, we've seen lots of discounts for these upgrades, so hopefully we can get some of these on the car, especially the ones to do with aero and chassis, because I think they're going to be really important for the upcoming races like Azerbaijan, and I think that other ones are pretty twisty as well. So yeah, but without further ado, let's head into qualifying. Okay then, qualifying time. Let's see where we can drag this car up to. So it's not looking great on track. On paper it's looking pretty good. If we were the same on track I'd be really happy, because we'd be expecting about P12, P13, something like that qualifying position. And Monaco, it is crucial qualifying. It's probably arguably more important than the race, just due to the track being so narrow, and well, I mean, you can see the walls are barely 2 feet apart from each other, so overtaking around here is very, very difficult, and strategy is definitely going to try and play into it. So we're definitely going to try one stop if we can, preferably with the two softest compounds, so the medium and the soft, but it might be a bit of a stretch for the medium, so we might have to do a bit of tyre saving, but that's quite easy to hold up people in around Monaco. You can see on the outlap there, you can see a lot of understeer through the hairpin. Not too bad down into the tunnel, through the tunnel, but yeah, we can already tell just from an outlap how the car's feeling, as well as trying to warm up tyres. Oh, missing braking zone. Yeah, we can already tell that this car is not on pace at all. Just gonna let the Red Bull go. Of Max Verstappen, I believe, is the championship leader at the minute. So yeah, we won't be competing with him, that's for sure. But we're going to go on this first lap, see if we can set a nice benchmark time, some new softs, try and at least get an idea of where we might place in qualifying. Don't expect it to be very high up, by the way, because we're at similar pace to like the Haas, the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. So yeah, so we set 13.2, which is not brilliant round here, but this car is rubbish, so it's okay. But we're on another lap. We've got the Alpine right behind us though, so it might give us an idea of what pressure's going to be like for the race. You see we're 2 tenths up just going into the first corner, so definitely gained some time on this lap into the casino square, taking the apex a little bit too early, missing that one a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. We're still 4 tenths up almost going into the hairpin. Try and get perfect lines here, using a little bit of the inside curb. Same here. Try and max out the second gear between the 2 corners and down into the tunnel. All the gears, all the throttle. 7 tenths up now going into this chicane. And we've done that pretty nicely, carried a lot of speed in. And that lap ended up being about 8 tenths better, but it was still not great and only good enough for 22nd. Yep. Dead last. Mazepin even out qualified us, but it just shows how bad this car is, or maybe how bad my driving is, as I haven't been on the F1 game in a while. But yeah, see Jack getting knocked out as well in 17th, much better quality than me, but you can see the gap wasn't all that big. We're not far off Jack. He's done 11.7, I've done a 12.3, so okay, that might be a big gap in Formula 1, but that's only 5 positions worth apparently, so I reckon there's definitely some pace to gain. And anyway, we will have open strategy to our advantage and we'll be able to do whatever we like really, and hopefully maybe some heroics into Sandvot, maybe, we'll have to see. But yeah, again, lots of nice acclaim, and let's go into the race.
Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino, first opened in 1863. And, of course, a certain road race, first held here in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today, though, ensure the 19 corners past the casino and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 2.1-mile lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, Tsunoda, Ocon, Lance Stroll and Raikkonen, Russell, Aitken, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Latifi, Mazepin and James. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay then, time for the race. Now, I plan, for strategy-wise, to start on mediums and try and extend them out and overcut a few people and go on soft. So you can see it is a viable strategy. Looks fairly quick, but I just think the two-stop, you're going to lose first of all track position, which is really, really important around here. And we only want to do one stop, but here we go. We're going to start 5 red lights. It's a long night, but we're underway. It was okay relaxation, and sort of side by side by Mazepin. We're going to go up the inside into Sandoval. There's some heroics. We're going to put it up the inside of the Williams, try and follow Gasly through, and you can see we're sort of stuck on the Williams up the hill. I don't really know what happened there, but we were absolutely stuck on the Williams, and then we're going to go for a little move on the Alfa Romeo, a little bit of front right contact there, but I don't think it was too bad on standard damage, so we should be okay. It might not help the car massively, but because any sharp bites really do have a great effect around Monaco. But yeah, you can see we're up to 18th already, so we have gained 4 positions off the start. There was a little crash, but there was nothing really I could do. Sort of the Williams turned in, and we were sort of stuck wheels, so the only way really to separate was turning out of it, and ultimately the Williams spinning, so nothing really I could do there. But we're going to try and follow Giovinazzi through with my teammate not far up ahead, also gaining a position in 16th. So yeah, we've got Schumacher right behind. Now he was a pressure this entire race really, because it was very obvious that we were on similar pace. So yeah, we're going to try and keep with these guys, even though we're probably a good half a second per lap slower than them. Into lap 2 here, getting very close in the hairpin to Giovinazzi. Going into the tunnel as well. A little touch on the wall there, but I think we're okay. It was a tyre tap, so it should be okay. It's checking the damage profile, and all seems to be in order. So tyres are up to temperature now, and these mediums actually felt pretty good. I felt pretty confident on these mediums. They were a little bit understeery, but you can see we had a terrible exit out the chicane, and already Mick Schumacher's looking for a move. But we don't need to fend that much, as it's very difficult to overtake around Monaco. Yeah, you've got to be alert on a street circuit, according to Julian Palmer, and yeah, I was alert to his potential attack, but nothing worked there. You see a bit of a gap to Schumacher there, and Gasly on the softs already, on about lap 7 I believe, has come into the pit, so he's trying the undercut. I think he lost quite a few positions off the start, because he was behind me even, I think. So yeah, he's going to have to roll the dice a bit with AlphaTauri and see what happens. We can see loads of other people coming in now. This is Ricciardo into the box, onto mediums as well. So it looks like most people are going for a one stop, even if it's starting from the softs. You see Ferrari, I think that's Leclerc, and yeah, Daniel Ricciardo is in as well. So yeah, and these all up ahead, but see where these guys are going to come out. I believe that was me. Was it me or Jack Aitken? I don't know, but it was one of our people. Yeah, so it's Ricciardo just behind Jack Aitken, my teammate. So Ricciardo is boxed and is ahead of me already, but that's to be expected. He started much further up the grid than me, but he's actually behind my teammate. And Valtteri Bottas is out. That Mercedes power unit has gone boom. So Valtteri is out. That's a free position for us. My teammate is in the pits, lap 20. I believe he started on mediums as well. You see we're going to be racing Ocon on the exit here. We're side by side going up the hill towards Casino Square. I'm just going to have the position on him, but it's going to be like defending from, well, that car is so much better. Simply. So yeah, we're going to have to defend and make our car extremely wide like a bus. So the two Alpines, so Alonso is also behind, cannot get past. But yeah, you can see how much already we're slowing them down. They're on fresh tyres. I'm on 20 lap old mediums, which don't feel brilliant now. I'm coming towards the end of my stint, I imagine, and trying to get on the softs, but I know the softs will also die out fairly quickly, so I don't want to get punches and wrist punches, or getting very close to the inside barrier through the little left kink. And you can see the Alpine in the mirror all over us. We've just got to stay calm though, because the chances of them actually making a move are pretty slim, unless I make a critical error. which I do here. um, Alpine up the inside, missed the apex, bit of oversteer in Casino Square, sort of pushing him along through the hairpin, and I'm afraid the Ocon goes through, and there was nothing really I could do there, so he just slots out the inside. Poor driving really by me, but yeah, I don't think I would have been able to keep an Alpine behind very long, considering on them fresh tyres, and it's a much better car. So Alonso's next, hoping to follow Ocon through, with Russell not far behind that on the hard, interestingly. So hopefully we're definitely going to try and keep him behind, but we do have to remember we still have to stop. So see how long we can extend and back up these guys to maybe even help my teammate out more, so try and get some closer to the points, or maybe in the points, but it's looking unlikely. Overtaking the tunnel, just to boost away, get the exits right, so Alonso isn't in striking distance into these crucial braking zones such as the chicane. So if we can just use a bit of overtake on exit and he doesn't have a chance of overtaking, we might be able to keep him behind for a little longer before we have to make our stop onto the SOS, so we can hopefully catch some more people on the SOS, because I think that tyre is going to feel absolutely amazing compared to these worn mediums. I'm going to stay out another lap, keep the Alpine behind. You see Russell is right tucked under Alonso, so hopefully I'm going to try and back Alonso into Russell and the chasing pack, and he focuses on his mirrors a bit more than on me. You see Jeff going over the radio there about the tyres, so we are pretty much at the end of our stint. I was planning to go to about lap 27, but we're probably going to have to box either this or next lap, because these tyres are feeling awful, quite honestly, especially through this sector, through the low speed. You can just see how much understeer we've got, how much off throttle sort of coasting we're having to do through the apex. You see another good exit into the tunnel. It doesn't look like Alonso's really close enough unless the toe is really powerful, but no, he cannot go for a move into the chicane. Keep him behind. You can see he's very close on exit. I'm gonna have to. And he actually slots it up the inside, and I can't turn in, otherwise there's gonna be a massive crash. And I'm just gonna let him go. It was kind of inevitable that he was gonna slot it up the inside and get past at some point. So there he goes, up the inside, nice and clean. You can see how much more grip that car has than us, sliding all over the place. But yeah, a bit wide through the final corner, trying to keep Russell behind. Russell's going to go side by side with us on 50% tyre wear. He's on much better life tyres. Going round the outside into turn one. They're still side by side, but the track narrows and I decide to back off. It's not a fight worth fighting. I'm only a wing alongside, and we're going to lose less time if we let Russell go, because clearly Russell has more pace than us as well, which is sad to say because it's a Williams. But you see Gasly also behind now, and I've been sort of backing up the pack massively. So yeah, you can see we just got no pace whatsoever, but it doesn't matter too much. I don't know if you remember Ricardo, I think 2018, he had a power issue in his Red Bull, and he actually managed to win the race, I think, with reduced power. So we are sort of trying to replicate Danny Rick, but we're fighting for 14th rather than 1st. But you know, little goals. Gasly right behind, you see, also has loads more pace. Massive snap through the chicane, trying to get on those curbs, trying to keep him behind. But yeah, sort of semi-defending into Raskas. But it's our box lap anyway, so all those people, including my teammate, who is 3rd in that group, are let free from my awful pace. So yeah, we're going in for our box. Hopefully might make it a quick one. But yeah, all we've got to do now is try and go hell for leather on these soft compound tyres. So you actually get lapped there by the Red Bull. Ignore the one stop left. We're on the final stop. We've just done it. And we have 8 seconds to Latifi. Mazepin is well out of this, so if we can just get Latifi, and you can see by lap 31 we've caught up those 8 seconds down to 4/10. But we know how difficult it is to overtake Monaco, especially when me and the Williams are pretty similar in pace. You see actually Stroll's done a Rosberg over there. He's done a Rosberg. And he is out of the Grand Prix as well. So that is another free position. But ultimately, it was a pretty dire weekend at Monaco, and we're going to come home in 19th.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So another fantastic victory for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
So there we go, guys. Red Bull on top again, absolutely storming ahead in the championship. But back where we are, it's just pretty miserable, to be honest. In Monaco, we don't have enough upgrades on the car. But hopefully from this weekend we can get a few resource points to try and get some major upgrades, certainly for aerodynamics and chassis and things. But yeah, strategy didn't really pay off in the end. We ended up boxing a bit too late, I think, and the tyres really went off the mediums. But I knew that the softs would struggle to last, 12, 13 laps around here, so I didn't want to completely cook them and die them out. So yeah, that's all I could do really. Just try and roll the dice, try and keep track position for as long as possible. But yeah, Max out on top again. We were nowhere near the points really, me or Aiken. But yeah, Jack Aiken 15th there, so he gained a few positions off his starting position. So that's not too bad. But yeah, there's us in 19th. Have the bragging rights on Mazepin at least, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, nothing really else to say, to be honest. It was a pretty dire weekend. We hope into Azerbaijan get some upgrades on this car and try and make it much better, because we desperately need to try and get nearer to the points and be fighting with those Alpines, fighting with Williams and Alfa Romeo. But yeah, you see, not beating Kimi Räikkönen in our rivalry, but I definitely think he's a good rival, and we're going to need that 1400 acclaim if we're going to want any chance of getting some good upgrades on the car. But that is pretty much it from Monaco. We couldn't have the celebrations on the podium, unfortunately, in Monaco, but there's always next season, so watch out for that. But yeah, that is pretty much it from me, guys. Azerbaijan will be coming up shortly. Got some ACC videos coming up too, so stick around. But that is it from me. Have a great rest of your day. See you all next time.